Hi KNSP, my name is Miss Gorilla. If you don't know me, I taught 4th grade this year and I taught 3rd grade last year, and I'm going to teach the KNSP values lesson for today, Monday, June 8th. Let's get started. At KNSP, we have 4 values that we try to live by, work by, and teach by every single day at our school. The first value is love. Second one is safety, challenge, and empowerment. At KNSP, Black Lives Matter. As a white teacher teaching on the north side, KNSP calls all of us to be anti-racist and to undo and unlearn all the racist ideas we've grown up with and been exposed to within America. Objective. Students and families will read one of Langston Hughes' poems and create a vision for the future of Black people in America, like Langston dreamed of in his poem. Today we will be reading I Too Am America by Langston Hughes, illustrated by Brian Collier. Langston Hughes was a poet during a time called the Harlem Renaissance. Can you say Harlem Renaissance? He wrote many poems that people still read today. The Harlem Renaissance took place in the 1920s in Harlem, New York. In Harlem, New York, lots of artists and writers came together. This is where jazz music was birthed. This is where poets like Langston Hughes lived and shared their art. If you haven't heard of what the Civil War is, a Civil War means when people from the same country fight one another and go to war. So in the United States, we had a civil war where the northern part of our country, called the Union, and the southern part of our country, called the Confederate States, fought one another over the concept of slavery. The northern Union states won, so that meant that they abolished or ended slavery. Legally, by law, slavery was over, but in the South, they continued to make laws that limited Black people. I also want you to notice that every single war within the United States, Black people have always fought, but they don't receive the same rights that other white people receive when they return from war, and they're not treated as equal citizens as white people, even though they die and fight for the same country. World War I was the next war, and again, I want to show you pictures of Black Americans serving for World War I. So right after this is when the Harlem Renaissance happened in New York. During this time in America, the main way that people traveled to go long distances was by train. The book that we're reading today takes Langston Hughes' poem and it combines it with images to make a story about a Pullman porter. Pullman porters did many things to make sure that people enjoyed their train rides. The main task of the porters was to make the beds at night and turn them back into seats in the morning. The Pullman porter pulled down the beds and made them in 3 to 5 minutes. He made the beds when the passengers headed to the dining car for supper. If the bed wasn't made right, the passenger might fall out of bed at night. Even though Black people were allowed to get different kinds of jobs, if you really think deeply about this job, it's still Black people serving white people, which means that many white people would try to claim that Black people were free, but Black people were free within white people's limitations. When we listen to our story today, I want you to think about how it connects to what's happening currently in America, and how things have or have not changed. I Too Am America by Langston Hughes, illustrated by Brian Collier. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody'll dare to say to me, eat in the kitchen. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. Press pause on this part of the video, and I want you to take some time to talk about these questions or think about these questions with somebody. The first question is, what do you think Langston Hughes wants us to feel and believe from this poem? I think Langston Hughes knew and was dreaming about the future that he probably felt would not happen within his lifetime, but that the liberation of Black people was going to happen one day. So when we read about how he would get his food and he would say he was sent back in the kitchen, but he would eat and get strong and laugh to himself, like he knew there was more to come. And then at the end, when it talks about how people are finally going to see his beauty and they would be ashamed, I think that that's connecting to people seeing the beauty in Black people, and people, especially white people, being ashamed at how Black people have been treated throughout all of their time within America. What do you think? Now, thinking about our next question, even though this poem is from 100 years ago, how is it still relevant today in how Black people are treated in America? Even though this poem was written 100 years ago, the concept behind it and the purpose behind it is still the same of what we're fighting for today when we say Black Lives Matter. Langston Hughes' words hold hope for what the future holds. When he says the word tomorrow, he's really talking about the future of when Black people are liberated. This is what we're fighting for right now and what we're continuing to work to change within America. So this poem is still very relevant today, and the concepts behind it are still very relevant. Langston Hughes had a vision for the future, so here's your chance to share your vision for the future. The steps to completing this assignment: 1. Open the future vision assignment in your Google Classroom. 2. Read the directions or press play to listen to them. 3. Draw a picture or write your vision for the future of Black people in America. And 4. This is how you share your ideas. You can turn in your assignment on Google Classroom. You could text a picture of your answer to a teacher, or you can send it or post it on Instagram and then tag KIPP North Star Primary. If you want to add more details, you can draw, you could write on a separate sheet of paper. You don't have to do it all on the computer. Just take a picture of your work and then insert that on your Google slide, or just post it right to Instagram. The instructions say, in I Too Am America, Langston Hughes wrote, tomorrow I'll be at the table. He's talking about the future for Black people in America. What is your vision for the future of what it's like to be Black in America? Write or draw your ideas below. How to share your work. Step 1, follow KIPP North Star Primary on Instagram, and then upload your vision to a family member's personal Instagram and tag us. Or complete your vision on your Google Classroom, comment to your teacher that you would like us to share it, and we will post it on the KIPP North Star Primary Instagram. Remember, our objective was for students and families will read one of Langston Hughes' poems and create a vision for the future of Black people in America, like Langston dreamed of in his poem. If you need more resources, or if you would like to talk to an adult at school, you can log on to your Google Classroom form from 12 to 1. If you are unable to get a hold of a teacher, you can always call Ms. Claire or Miss Caroline. Remember, the Google Classroom link is right at the top inside of your Google Classroom. It's called Google Meets. Thank you for spending this special time with me today, and I hope you have a very wonderful day. Love you all. Love, Miss Gorilla.